somebody basically said James Harden essentially went to Brooklyn because he wanted an easy ring. No, it wasn't Victor. It was somebody else. He went to Brooklyn because he wanted an easy ring, and the first sign of adversity, he quit. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I disagree. I think the big thing is like he's getting so much blame that should be directed towards Kyrie Irving. I think so much of this is Kyrie's fault. Like I don't know. Harden has he's the type of guy that people hate on really quickly, but just because of who he is and how he looks and what he's done in the past with Houston and coming to Brooklyn to form a big three, and he was the third guy to come around. So like it's easy to hate on him for those reasons, but like Kyrie Irving is, I think, absolutely the problem to that team. I think all three of those guys, it's like the three people I would never put on a team together. They are like the
Exactly.
three worst personalities. They're all the worst. Like
Yeah.
really, I don't even dislike the Nets, but those three guys, like I'm the biggest KD hater. Kyrie is the worst teammate in NBA history, and Harden is not the dude you bring to fix those problems. So it's not a
No.
Harden thing; it's all of them. It's a whole thing. Kyrie's the
Yeah.
problem.
I love being right about that, man. When they got those three guys together, the sports world exploded. It's over. It's done. We're done. The NBA's done. The next Golden State Warriors are here. The Nets are winning a championship for the next 5 years in a row. That's it. And I said, dude, first of all, it's not going to take very long for this to implode. Like, how did people not think this? I know I'm speaking about ESPN people, and they're basically just they clock in, they read what they're supposed to say on the script, and they clock out. They're not so they're pushing a narrative, or they're just trying to have entertaining stories on the TV. I don't think it's real at all. Anybody that really knows ball did not look at that team and say, "Yeah, this team's going to dominate the NBA." There's no supporting cast. They traded their entire bench to bring in these guys. They were better off not making the James Harden trade and running with Kyrie and Kevin Durant and trying to fill out the roster. You don't need three ball dominant scorers on a team. So and here you go. Like I said yesterday or the day before, I didn't think it was going to be because Kyrie refused to take a vaccine, but I knew that Kyrie would implode this team somehow, some way. And my opinion on the James Harden, I think he went there because he wanted a ring. He was tired of putting up 60-point triple doubles in Houston and losing. But right now, he's frustrated with Kyrie Irving not playing, and then Kevin Durant goes out for 8 weeks, and he's like, "Here I am again. Actually, this team might be worse right now than the Houston team I was on. And here I am again, dropping 30-point
Yeah.
triple doubles and losing. So I'm out."
It's crazy how dude Brooklyn trading Jared Allen killed him. Look at the Cavs right now,
Yeah,
dude. The Cavs just got Karis LeVert. Now Jared Allen's should have been an All-Star. I'm pissed about that.
yeah.
I hope the Cavs meet Brooklyn in like the first round and the Cavs win,
Oh,
just because it shows you like how terrible that move
yes.
was in retrospect. I mean, Jared
Yeah,
Allen is exactly what the Brooklyn Nets need. Literally
yeah,
100% what they need,
yeah.
and they traded him just because
A
they needed
young
an star.
a young, athletic as hell, rim running center that can just block shots, catch alley oops. He was incredible for them. And when you value big names over a supporting cast and depth, that's what happens. And that's, even if all three of them are healthy, I'm not scared of that team because, like I say all the time, if each guy gives you 30, you got 90 points. You know what else you got? I know they're out Joe Harris right now too, and Joe Harris is big time for him, but I was never scared of that team. That Jared Allen trade is crazy.
I think if you're a team in the East, just to like you need to have a big man who can stop Embiid, even just the way it is now. And they literally traded Jared Allen, the one guy who arguably could be one of the best guys in the NBA when it comes to stopping Embiid. And
Mm-hmm.
you're going to see the Sixers 4 times a year, and you traded him for a player that you already have two of.
Yes.
Like it's
Yeah.
not like Harden's like this elite spot up shooter. He's a guy who like performs with the ball in his hands. So is Kyrie Irving, and so is KD for the most part. KD's better, obviously, but like you just what are you doing going out and getting the exact same thing, like
Mm-hmm.
triplets of the same kid when you need much more than that. I don't know.
All right. To me, it's basic math. Like, if Kyrie and Durant take 30 shots each, and they give you, say they take 25 shots each, and they give you 35 and 33, you put James Harden in the middle. He's just taking shots that they would be taking, and scoring points that they would be scoring, I don't think it's really helping you out that much.
Right. And Harden is not that much better than Kyrie to justify that. Like they're all basically on an equal efficiency playing field that you're like it doesn't make any sense to go out and get another 30-shot guy when all you need is a supporting cast. Like it shows the Sixers. The Sixers don't have the supporting cast. Like Harden would help Philly a lot more because we don't have, a guard other than Maxey really, but like it's crazy how there are so many different problems for so many different organizations and they're all dealing with it and they're probably all so frustrated. I've been all over Brooklyn Nets Twitter lately and they are like they don't want to see Harden ever play again for them. And Steve Nash comes out saying we're not going to trade him. Like what else are you going to do? What else are you going to say?
Yeah, they're definitely trading him. And I don't think it's going to take a package that people think it's going to take. I don't. I think they are basically accepting the fact that Ben Simmons is the best option right here.
Yeah. And it's also, I think it's interesting how like the beginning of the season, all the Bleacher Report trade opportunities you see were like CJ McCollum, Ben Simmons. That's it. Like that's every single trade was always CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons. And if we could go out and get Harden, I mean, it's just a better CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be that huge of a package either because they know that Ben Simmons or Harden's not going to resign. I mean, dude, they're shooing him out of the city like we did with Ben. So.
Yeah, and he's probably like, dude, I'm stuck out here, with a guy playing half of the games and now a guy that's hurt, and I'm stuck out here trying to pass the ball to Bruce Brown and you know what I mean, whoever else is on this team.
Yeah,
like
for real. But it also makes Brooklyn better. Like it makes Brooklyn better. It's just literally it's addition by subtraction, and you're adding a defensive anchor that you desperately needed, and a guy who's you're never gonna fear is taking too many shots. Like the fit with Ben in Brooklyn is ideal. It's one of the best in the league, but it's the only thing I think that the only reason that the trade hasn't been made up until this point is the fact that they're division rivals. You don't really see like the Nets and Sixers make trades together. You don't really see like division rivals make big blockbuster trades like that for obvious reasons. That's the only reason I think something hasn't been made.
That's true. But do you think it's going to happen at the trade deadline?
I do. I do think so.
Yeah, I can't grasp it. I don't even know what I will do if that actually goes down. Like I think we're getting closer to that being realistic. I can't even handle the thought of it. I can't even handle the thought of, and 360 people in here, everybody hit the thumbs up. Follow Greg on YouTube at Greg Melly. Follow Greg on Twitter at Greg Melly. Everybody in here and everybody that follows my channel knows how much I've absolutely despised Ben Simmons for over 2 seasons now. And I mean, like on a personal level, on an actual personal level, people hated me so much for it. Like it's a game and you're out here talking about his life and how he was raised and how he grew up and you're talking about his dad and you're talking about, I can't stand him as a person.
Yeah,
he's awful. He is. I think honestly one of the first straws for me, not the final straw, but one of the first straws for me was this dude posting pictures of his Bentley before he ever played an NBA game. He was so excited to get that first check and be rich and be a celebrity on Instagram. And I saw that red flag from a mile away. Because guys don't do that.
That's a red flag. That's a big time red flag. I have a question for you though. This is going to be a question to the chat too, because I just saw a comment and this makes me want to ask you something. If the Sixers win one championship in like the first 2 years, we get Harden, say we get him this offseason, then we win next year, and we sign him to a 5-year deal. Is it worth winning one championship over dealing with the last 2-3 years of that contract of being terrible?
Yes.
Thank you. I agree.
Because I'm 35 years old. I've been watching basketball since '95. I started watching right before the year before Allen Iverson was drafted, which was a terrible year. They had Jerry Stackhouse and nobody else. They were atrocious. They had the worst record in the league, and they got the number 1 overall pick and drafted Allen Iverson. What a perfect time to start watching basketball. The Sixers were awful, but they got this player that revived the entire city and franchise. And they were never able to put anything around him the entire time. The entire time. Every year was Allen Iverson, a bunch of nobodies. And I'm seeing the same thing with Joel Embiid. So if they break that cycle of 20 years of having a superstar and nobody else, even for one single season, you get a
I'll
ring
deal
out
with
of it.
another 10 years of tank. I will deal with another 10 years.
Yeah.
That's all it is, dude. It's just one championship, and that's the way you got to look at it. That's the only way you got to look at it. That's what Morey does.
I want to be in the finals. I want to watch every finals game, every minute of every finals game. I want to be at a 76ers parade down Broad Street in Philly, man.
More than
That's
anything.
what I want.
More than anything, bro.
And that's people's main issue with it is that Harden's 33, and then what do you do the next, 5 years?
It doesn't matter if we win a championship.
I agree.
That's why people trade 10 first-round picks for stuff. That's what it is. You
Nikola
do
MVP Jokic.
one.